just come back from your trip?
We've been back from our trip. We've taken multiple trips at this point. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just got back from Ponderosa, which is near Lotus, California.
Yeah.
We were
Colma. It's all 49.
The gold rush town.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But we were right next to the river, so we got to
El Dorado County?
I think it is in El Dorado, yes. Yeah. It's beautiful up there.
It was hot, but she made stuff.
Yeah.
We went to the Thunder River in a different part of our world.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Good morning, I'm Antoinette, and welcome to Unity of Stockton. I want to introduce our minister, Reverend Mignonne Pollard. Our musician, Shannon Trudeau.
In the Loa Chapel.
Our technician, Susanna Emery. And our youth usher, Don Jessup. Now let's stand up and sing.
Testing?
Testing.
Alright, we're going to start with some inner peace, bringing our hearts back to center.
It's not on. Testing.
Did it get switched?
I have no clue.
There's a flip there.
Testing. Better.
Alright, we're live. Alright. Please let me feel.
Please let me feel
Inner peace from my center, at the center of me. All together. Please let me feel inner peace from my center, at the center of me. My heart is open, I am aware, it means a knowing of love, 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 love. Ooh, Please let me feel inner peace from my center, at the center of me. Please let me feel inner peace from my center, at the center of me. My heart is open, I am aware, it means a knowing of love, 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 love. Ooh, Thank you.
And so let's just sit down and take a breath, sit back and relax. I'm knowing that there is only one energy back behind all. And it's an energy of love, it's an energy of peace, it's an energy of joy. It's the energy of the unity of community. Oh, this energy of love and peace and joy, it is the energy that surrounds me, it guides me, it leads me, and it surrounds, leads, and guides each and every person here. And so I'm speaking my word right here and right now, that this is the energy that is the energy of this service. One of community, of unity, of love, of peace, of guidance. And I'm grateful and thankful. I'm so grateful and thankful that this is the presence, that the presence is here, that the presence surrounds us, that the presence is us, that the presence expresses as us. I'm grateful and thankful for this right here and right now. And I'm releasing this word into the law. And together we say, so it is. So now it's from prayers and gratitudes from the congregation. If anyone has any gratitudes or prayers, we're open.
I'd like to prayers for my oldest sister. She lost her husband of over 70 years yesterday.
Oh, I'm
So for
sorry.
her and for her family, her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren.
And your Kim.
What's her name?
Ruth.
And her name is Ruth. Okay. Anyone else? Prayers?
I'm grateful for this morning's beautiful sunrise that painted the sky with so many different colors and pastels. It was truly wondrous.
Shannon is grateful.
Yes.
Gratitudes or prayer requests? Judy?
Yeah, I'm grateful for waking up this morning on a real positive mood.
Yeah.
Yes, that is good.
I'm grateful for everyone that's here that's taken the time to come and share with all of us your great words. Wisdom.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Grateful for that also. For Antoinette?
Very much.
Okay.
Hear me. Very difficult.
It's for all caregivers.
Yes, Antoinette.
Yes.
We will pray for Antoinette.
Thank you.
If there are no further requests, let us bow our heads. So just knowing that there is one energy, that is the energy behind all. It is the energy I call God, Spirit. It is an intelligence. It is an infinite intelligence, divine knowing. And I'm in that divine knowing, that infinite intelligence, that love, that healing presence is the presence that is in and around and it runs through my body. That healing presence is the presence that is in and around each and every person here. And so I'm speaking my word right here and right now. I'm speaking my word for Antoinette and for all caregivers, knowing that they have the strength, the compassion, the patience, and the loving spirit that is the very essence of their life. It is guiding them, leading them, supporting them as they walk on the journey of love, of loving kindness, of giving, of givingness. I am speaking my word for Kim, for her strength going through this time of difficulty in her family, and for Ruth. I'm praying for the best and the highest for Ruth as she navigates grief and as the family surrounds her, supports her, upholds her. Oh yes, and I am just so grateful and thankful for Judy, grateful and thankful for Judy being here, grateful and thankful for Judy waking up this morning. I'm grateful and thankful for Shannon. I'm grateful and thankful for Aloha and the music that they will provide, uplifting our spirits, guiding our journey. I'm grateful and thankful for each and every person here. Grateful and thankful knowing that healing is present, that healing is possible, that healing is happening right here and right now. And knowing that, I simply release this word into the law, knowing it's done, it's good, all is well, and so it is.
So it is.
And now the sacred word from the daily word.
Sorry, this is frozen. Oh, never mind.
World Peace, Sunday, July 19th. The peace of my soul brings peace to the world. The Bible's sacred pairings, lions and lambs, swords and plowshares, reveal that peace becomes possible when I and others hold life's polarities in harmony. These verses remind me that wholeness arises not from opposition, but from integration. Within all people, strength and tenderness, boundaries and compassion, courage and vulnerability arise from the same divine source. Lion and lamb are not rivals. They are facets of one creation. Sword and plow are not contradictions. They are different tools for transformation. Peace begins when we see that opposites, both within and around us, can be allies rather than adversaries. As this realization takes root, any impulse to defend or harden begins to fade. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation. Isaiah 2:4.
Yeah, it is, for some reason.
Now,
We have
greeting each other. Do that right now?
Reading now.
I should.
Okay, so now it's time to greet each other.
Hi there, Johnny's. Johnny's, yes, Terry.
Good morning.
We're back. Zakia. Oh, I haven't used that Zakia. Okay, Z-A-K-A-Y-H. So what is your name? Okay, but it's just real different. Is yours Arabic? Okay, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that was way better.
Hi, good morning.
I've been doing those prayer things, it's a lot better.
Hi, good morning.
Reverend Brenda.
Yeah. I think I'll do that.
Good morning.
No.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, there we go.
CSA.
Yeah.
I like that.
Short and long living.
Okay, I'm Reverend Brenda. Yes. Yes, we do too. Good morning, how are you?
David.
David, Reverend Brenda. Good to meet you. Good morning, how are you? Very good. I'm Brenda. Brenda, yes. Good to meet you. Thank you for today.
Hey, David, there he is. Now you give me some. All right, good to see you. You want to switch those?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Hello.
Good to see you. Jim's sister. She has her
She's saying, to do announcements.
Yes.
Antoinette, just follow your order of service. This is jumping around and I have no control right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But go ahead and read announcements and then she'll do the July. Well, we can do the July 1st. It's
I can do the sacred prayer affirmations.
The announcement.
Yeah. Okay. I have an announcement that Dat On is still doing his mindfulness meditation classes here at Unity on Monday nights at 7 to 8:30. And he's doing it two more times, tomorrow night and next Monday also. And then the class is over. And now if you want to say the July sacred prayers along with me. Inner peace.
Established in the center of my being, I am still and peaceful.
Wisdom.
God is the wisdom that flows as intelligence throughout every cell of my body and every thought in my mind.
Healing.
I tell the truth of divine life to my body and my circumstances.
Prosperity.
Focused in faith, I perceive the truth of divine abundance by which I prosper.
World peace.
In life's spiritual understanding, I behold divinity within all beings.
I just did it. I did the daily word. Right?
Yes.
I sort of did. As a matter of fact, I want to stress that I am an activist for peace. And I put out a newsletter that has about a circulation of 400. It's called Friends for Peace. So if anyone wants to sign up for it, I'd appreciate it. And now let's prepare for meditation with music.
Does Wade in the Water next?
We never did it.
Oh,
Let's do it.
You want to do Wade the Horse?
Yeah.
let's do that one real quick.
Okay.
All right, because it was a good.
'Cause that's a really good one.
Yeah.
And it's a song that teaches the ways of freedom.
Mhm.
And it's a coded song, but it taught people the way out of slavery and yeah, into that freedom. So I'm excited to sing this with you all today. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Get up and dance. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. See those people dressed in black.
God's gonna trouble the water.
They come a long way and they ain't turning back.
God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. See those people dressed in blue.
God's gonna trouble the water.
Look like my people coming through.
God's gonna trouble the water.
Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
See those people dressed in red.
Must be the children that Moses led.
Wade
In the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
Glitching again, so go ahead and do your meditation.
And so we take just a deep breath. We feel that ocean breeze. Feel the feet touching the water. Just walking softly in that water. You are saving off the smell of the dogs as you walk towards freedom. just going to take a deep breath and release. And a deep breath and release. And this morning we're thinking about freedom and unity and love. Freedom, unity, and love. That is our chant. That is our intention. That is our heart's desire. Freedom, unity, and love. And now I'll speak in a few minutes as we go into the silent meditation. And if ever your mind wanders from freedom, unity, or love, just simply focus on your breath, knowing that the presence of God is with you every step of the way. Freedom, unity, and love. So we can begin to slowly come back into this room, knowing that the presence is always with us. It's just for us to be still, to be quiet, to raise our awareness of it. It is there each moment of each day, right as your nearest breath. So, if you wiggle your toes, move your shoulders, take a deep breath in gratitude for the loving presence. When you're ready, open your eyes and someone can lit the lights. Dawn, you're someone. Dawn was deep. Dawn was indeed.
Actually,
Everything is in divine right order. And it's, from my perspective, it has been a beautiful ceremony so far, a beautiful gathering of this morning. And so I want to start this morning a little differently. Maybe it's a little bit the way I started it in a different way, but for me it's a little different. So I'm going to start this morning with a parable. And we're going to work on to that parable. And it's a guy named Abhishek Shah told the story. It's a parable of two brothers. And our theme is building bridges. So once upon a time there were two brothers, John and James, and they lived on adjoining farms that fell into conflict. And it was the first serious rift in about 40 years of this farming side by side. They were sharing machinery, they were trading labor and goods, and everything they needed, it would go off without a hitch. Then that long collaboration fell apart. It began with a small misunderstanding and it grew into a major difference, and finally it exploded into a bitter exchange of words followed by weeks of silence. Then one morning, there was a knock on the older brother, John, on his door. And he opened it to find a man with a carpenter's toolbox. And the guy says, "I'm looking for work for a few days. Perhaps you got a few jobs, small jobs I can do. Can I help you in any way?" "Oh yeah," John said, "yes you can. Have I got a job for you. You see, look across at that creek at that farm. That's my neighbor. In fact, that's my younger brother, James. And last week, There was a meadow between us. Oh no, but he took a bulldozer to the river levee, and now there's a creek between us. Well, he may have done this to spite me, but I'm going to get him one better. You see that pile of lumber over there curing by the barn? I want you to build me a fence. I want you to build me an 8-foot fence so I don't have to see him no more. That's what he said. I want to cool him down anyway. The carpenter said, I think I understand the situation. Show me the nails and the post hole in the digger, and I think I'll do a job that pleases you. So the older brother and the carpenter, James, the older brother James and the carpenter went to town to get supplies. He helped the carpenter get all the materials ready, and then he went off for the day. The carpenter worked hard. He was measuring and sawing and nailing, and at sunset, when the farmer returned, the carpenter had just finished his job. But the farmer's eyes were wide open. His jaws dropped. There wasn't a fence there at all. It was a bridge. A bridge stretching from one side of the creek to the other. And a fine piece of work the handrails were, and all the neighbors, the younger son, they all came running across the bridge with their hands outstretched. And the younger brother said, "You're quite a fellow to build this bridge after all I've said and after all I've done." Well, the older brother walked to the middle of the bridge, and then they just stood there talking, looking at each other, taking each other's hands. And while they were doing that, while they were sort of in this space in the middle of that bridge, they turned to see the carpenter hoist up his toolbox on his shoulder. "No, wait," said James. "Stay a few days." Oh, John, "We have more jobs for you. We got a lot of projects." The carpenter says, "I'd love to stay, but I have many more bridges to build." Now I start with that story because I want you to believe that it is the world that we create. That we create the world that we want to live in. We create it, and it begins with our beliefs, it begins with our understanding, it begins with our vision. And sometimes it takes a stranger or a passerby, an observer, to point out things that we can't see because of the lens or the perspective from which we see the world, which it seems so normal to us. But sometimes it takes another perspective to open our eyes for good. So let's take the news, for instance, these days. I know, deep sigh, right? Yeah, the news. The stories on the news of late have reported multiple instances of Black men and women who are the only people of color in a group of friends gathering for fun celebratory occasions. And they go out on these fun occasions. But it seems like that one person of color, that one Black person, never seems to return home. They are found dead. You may not know about this. This may not be in your perspective, but it's something that's troubling me deeply as one of the first people to go through integration from kindergarten to 12th grade, one of the first groups of people that was taught to build bridges, taught to walk in a different world. Well, I'm going to tell you, it may not be on your radar, but there's a few names I want you to know. The most recent one is Nolan Xavier Wells, who went off on the 4th of July with his friends, I'm going to put that in quotation, on a boating trip, and he was found dead on July 6, 2026. His friends returned home without him, but they had his cell phone. Then there's Tamala Horsford, who, and this is in 2018, was a famous picture. It was all the football moms of Forsyth County, Georgia. They were sitting on a couch. Everybody looks really friendly, and Tamala is the one Black mom on the team. Social media showed them all smiling on that L-shaped couch. But later, Tamala was found face down in the backyard of that home, having sustained fatal injuries that were consistent with the fall from a second-story balcony. And finally, and it's not the final story, it's just the final one I'm going to report today because there are too many actually to report, unfortunately. But finally there's Gerard Jackson, who attended something called an electronic forest festival. Now, from the Deep South, and my people in Deep South might have said, he should have known better. Electronic Forest Festival, what is that? Anyway, he called the police to report a criminal incident involving a friend, and then he was reported missing. And then later, they found his body hung from a tree. Now, he's one of too many black men that have been found hung from trees lately, and police and authorities are calling it suicide. In the old days, we called it a lynching. I don't believe black men would purposefully hang themselves from a tree. But this is just some of the stories that are out there in the news. And it's supposed to be, it shows sort of friendships between the races going bad or wrong. The news feed that I see is not one of flowers or recipes or cat videos. But we might occupy the same space, you and I, but we might be shown different images. And these are the images that I am shown. And this awareness of what can happen in the world bothers me. So I wanted to address it, knowing that you might not even be aware of these things. I want to use a quote from the book, The Inner Work of Social Justice. And she's paraphrasing the famous novelist William Faulkner. And it's a kind of a long quote, but I'll let you know when it's done. The quote begins, "The past is not dead. Indeed, it's not even the past." And similarly, James Baldwin reminds us that to change absolutely anything, we must first have the courage to face it. We must face the fact that racism is an inherent part of our culture and that we subtly recreate it each day. We have to face the facts if we hope to change anything. We must commit to doing the ongoing work of learning about, repairing, and redeeming the wounds still festering from our histories that have harmed us collectively. And it's done to it's done to those who are marked as racially or ethnically other. It's the othering. To do so requires that we commit to truly understand those harms. We must work to repair and to heal from them ourselves. And we must pass what we know down to our children. And we must commit to projects of racial justice that change the structures by which racism maintains its footprint in the world. We have much work to do. We have much work to do. That's the quote from the book of The Inner Work of Racial Justice, Healing Ourselves and Transforming Our Communities Through Mindfulness. The author is Rhonda V. McGee. Now, if we believe that we are all one, if we believe in the spiritual laws, that these incidents should not be occurring in the world, the first thing we can do is what Marianne Williamson says. Marianne Williamson asks us to use the news as a place to begin our prayers, to use the news as our prayer request, and that if we pray for those in the news, that we can help heal the world. It's a good place to start because world peace, a peace in the world, begins with each and every one of us. And if we truly know, and I truly know that life is good, that God is good, then we can pray for the highest and best in so many of these situations, and there are too many to name. So I'm bringing this up today because I want to challenge you to build bridges in your life, not walls. The current state of affairs in the United States, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to share divine love across cultures and races. And people might not be immediately open. Despite that, I believe we should walk in love and should assume good intentions and foster peace. So in this idea of oneness and of knowing, we believe that we can create the world that we live in. The challenge is to create the healed society where everyone is valued for who they are and people are accountable for their actions. Relationships are authentic, boundaries are valued, and making amends becomes a normal part of life. It's our It's in our choices, it's in our beliefs and our practices that we create society. A healed society might look like one where no one is given a life that produces trauma. No one is given a life that is producing suffering. That love can look like accountability. So what does that mean? What does it mean for each of us to take accountability for our feelings and the impact and the actions that we have on others? We can't do it if we don't understand our own feelings. So the more we take accountability for our own feelings, the more we can hold others accountable for their feelings. And when we speak openly and authentically about our feelings, we can break down barriers, we can move past stereotypes. And that's the first way that we can meet someone in the middle of the bridge, is to break down stereotypes. When you're engaging with others, you can be open and you can be sincere. Release your judgment about people and not base your judgment about their looks or their ethnicity. I know that in my life, I've met folks that have, I'm gonna say, like lots of tattoos up, and they might have a big thing, and they might even be riding a Harley, and they might scare me a lot. But some of those people, when I talk to a couple of those guys, are some of the sweetest people that I've met. I think that people receive you. It's about this energy that we're giving out. If you give out that energy of positivity, if you give out that energy of love, if you give out that energy of true wanting to understand, people feel that. People know that. People respect that. Even if you don't know everything, especially if you don't know everything, then when you make a slip up, you are forgiven, and you are easily forgiven because your intention, the intention is true connection. The intention is love. The intention is understanding. If you come with that intention. So I'm going to work a little bit, the work of understanding. That's one of the 12 powers. I believe it's a lifelong journey. This work of understanding how another lives in the world. I cannot say that I understand how anyone else is experiencing the world, but I can definitely try to develop a sense of compassion for myself and for others. And I'm challenging you to do the work to develop a sense of compassion for yourself and for others. So in this challenge to build bridges, because of the news, because of what's going on in somebody else's news feed that you might not have any awareness of, you may see people set up boundaries. But sometimes it's important to honor those boundaries. There's a book, it's called What It Takes to Heal by Prentice Hempel. And they write, boundaries are the distance at which I can love you and me simultaneously. Boundaries can shelter our authenticity, our real selves. They are essential as we build relationships with one another. And as we learn to value people for all and who they are, it might be uncomfortable because we might have to rethink how we believe the world works. So along the way, with building bridges and making these relationships, if someone does tell you their experience, I challenge you to believe them. You may not have experienced it, but I challenge you to believe them. That if you're entering into that sincere, heartfelt conversation, no matter how strange it may seem, and share with them your experiences. Because the challenge, it's reciprocal. It's yin and yang, it's back and forth, it's building together. And along the way, I'm sure there'll be amends to make, there'll be apologies, there'll be miscommunications. That's not bad. If you get through those, you're developing a true and authentic friendship, relationship, connection. And when we give each other grace, that is when those bridges can be built. So the intention behind building bridges is always to be clear. And I suggest you learn to expand your understanding of the many expressions of God as you can. So as many people as you can. And how do you do this? How do you do this? I'm going to give you a couple of examples. They're either examples or homework. You decide. I think one way, we'll start safe and then maybe get a little whatever. So a safe way to do this is to read about the lives of others through biographies, to watch documentaries, to listen to podcasts. It's a neutral step, it's a safe step. It doesn't require an intense or an immediate engagement, but it's the first step. You can watch some history, biographies, read some biographies of historical figures, watch some documentaries of historical events. It's one safe way to start expanding your consciousness, because our whole experience here, our whole desire here, our whole reason for being here, my whole reason for being here, my whole reason for being up here is to help expand my consciousness and to know God, to know Spirit, to know how Spirit expresses, to know the many expressions of God. So that is one of your intentions. That is one way you can do it in a safe way, to expand your consciousness. Some inner work that you can do. Ask yourself where you've put up walls. I've admitted to this group. I'm scared of those groups of teenage boys. That was a talk a while ago. I'm scared of those tattooed guys. I'm working on those walls that I've put up. You know, learn how you can become curious about people and meet them where they are. You can become curious about people and meet them where they are. And I like to say, you know, develop a friendship with someone other than yourself. Another ethnicity, another group. And you can do that. You can reach out and you can do that. Believe it or not, Unity World Ministries has a web page, and it's got so many resources on it. It's called Standing Together, and it's on the Unity Resource Center, and if you type in Standing Together Resource Center, then you will get all of this